Takeoff was delayed this morning because of squall lines passing through the area, but the fish were still jumping, and the best fishermen in the world found a way to catch their limit anyway.
Woo! That's that little frog.
Today is the day in professional bass fishing. The day you've dreamed about since you started fishing with your best buddy. The day dreams come true. First place leader Luke Clausen, fishing in only his third classic, knows what a win could bring.
5 of those would be 500 grand.
But he's cautious.
Going into the classic the last day, I'm more concerned about catching them there than being in first right now.
An angler appearing in his 15th classic found a honey hole on Saturday and propelled himself into second place. And then you have the boys from Florida. Early favorite Terry Scroggins finally got on course. And Preston Clark is fishing for more than pro angling's greatest accolade.
I have a little motivation. We found out my wife's pregnant. I think we're going to have 3. And I'm so happy.
Then there's the legend, fishing for a present for his youngest son. A former Kentucky Derby jockey competing not for the money, but for the sport and its ultimate career recognition.
You don't work for the money. You do it because you love it.
And the defending champion came up big on day 2, staying in contention. He knows what it takes to win.
Failure isn't going to bother me. I know I've got to take a big risk, take big chances to catch a big stringer. I'm not fishing for a limit. I'm fishing for gorillas.
Welcome, everybody. It's finally here. Championship Day on bass fishing's biggest stage. Day 3 of the 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. You're looking at a live shot inside the Orange County Convention Center. And I mean, they're hanging from the rafters today, and you can hear the emotion. Final day of the 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. Let's take a look at the top 12 after yesterday. Now, you might not recognize 4 or 5 of those names right up there at the top, but take a look down at number 12. Kevin VanDam, the defending champion. I can tell you he was catching fish in the middle of the day. Can he make up enough ground? We'll find out. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome to the great state of Florida. $500,000 is the top prize money. You add endorsements easily. This tournament is worth over $1 million. I said yesterday I thought the 4 guys at the top had the best shot to winning the Classic this year, but don't overrule somebody coming out of the pack. Here are the rules that they abide by during the 3 days of the tournament. 51 anglers qualified. The field was cut to 25 today. 5 fish limit per day. You must fish within the boundaries, and the highest 3-day total wins the Bassmaster Classic. $500,000. Let's go upstairs and meet Jay, Shaw, and Byron. And again, guys, I posed the question, what do you got for me?
Well, we do know 500,000, guys, goes to the winner. The other 50 anglers in this field will have to split the remaining $700,000 of the $1.2 million purse money. Byron Velvick, your 3-day weight limit of 83.5 is safe.
I love that.
We also know that Shaw Grigsby has taken a lot of fish and a boatload of money out of Lake Toho.
Love this
You know
place.
these waters very well. One of the things we're going to talk about throughout the course of this broadcast are the different techniques that the anglers will use. Here's a quick look at those techniques. Guys will flip fish. They will also use spinnerbait and worm fishing. A big determinant in how they will fish is the weather. Guys, how will the weather we saw today affect their decisions on how to fish?
Unbelievable weather this morning, and it really does turn the fish on. First thing in the morning, that wind's blowing, the rain's blowing, the fish get excited, and it's really possible for you to go out there and take a spinnerbait and cover some ground and catch
fish in this stuff, though. You're talking some soup right here.
Oh, that is.
And this is when you abandon it. You give up that. You were on a pattern. You knew what you were going to do. You were going to fish a certain style, had a certain technique. Give it all up. The wind is blowing in there. 4-foot, 5-foot waves. The water got all churned up. It's time to make a big move and just make an adjustment. A lot of adjustments had to be made today. A lot of guys had to just abandon their game plan and start all over again.
Let's talk a little bit about the number of fish caught between day 1 and day 2. Only 2 fish more in day 1 than day 2. But guys, the weight limit, why the difference?
That's what happens. You know, those first day, they have all these big fish sitting up there on beds, and they were able to catch them. And some of the fish that were aggressive got caught then. The fish that are a little more lethargic, a little more careful, they haven't been caught yet.
Those shallow fish are wanting to spawn, and that's exactly it. That weight represents a sight fishing tournament or a bed fishing tournament. What we mean by that is when these fish are spawning, that's what you see. And look at the playing field these guys had.
And the number of fish that were caught, 376 alone for 2 days in Toho.
But now check it out. We're going to the little lake in between the other lakes, Lake Cypress. 29 fish total now. I know a certain guy that's KVD, Kevin VanDam, may have been in there today. We'll get back to that later.
Axtahol only 10. It's been a tough lake, and it has been for a couple years.
You've done well there, Shaw.
Yes, I have, but check this out.
The bell of the ball, Lake Kissimmee. Now, this place kicked out the most fish. Guys that went down there whacked them and caught big ones. That was the treat. The big stringers came out of there. It was the bell of the ball, like I said, the predominant place to be.
Okay, a couple of other storylines we're following. Luke Clausen, our leader going into the final day, a West Coast guy. No West Coast angler has ever won a Bassmaster Classic. Also, a couple of Florida guys right there at 3 and 4. Preston Clark is in there. Also, Terry Scroggins. No angler has ever won the Classic when fishing in his home state. It is time to go to the scales. Monroe barely made the cut to fish to the final day. How was his day 3? Keith Allen will let us know.
Let's welcome our first angler across the Classic stage from California, Monroe. Monroe in a 3-way tie for that cut position. He has put 26 pounds and 3 ounces on the scale so far, and he's smiling today. Hopefully that means he has a limit of 5 bass. Tell me about those fish. You got 5. He's giving me the sign. Reach into the live well, and let's get this party started, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I love it when he opens the second lid on that Triton live well. Get it done, son.
Well, Keith, you know, I went out today just to have a little fun. You know, I got this one protected area because I think another hurricane's coming, the way that wind blew out there today. But I have to say, I love Florida, and I love the fishing in Florida.
Come on up, man. Come on up.
It ain't a giant, but for today, I'll take him. It's a nice one.
All right, Ish. Today was a crazy weather day. Short little weather delay early this morning. We had a little bit of lightning. Only held you guys up about 10 minutes. You got right back in the game. But boy, the wind started to kick up big time this afternoon, and it was a cold one too. How do you think that affected your bite?
I don't know. I didn't notice it. Actually, truthfully, Keith, I was fishing a spot that was protected. So I really didn't get to see those winds, but I think it's going to hurt a lot of guys today. I'm just happy to go out to an area, catch me 5 bass, and come in and have some fun.
We'll put 10-7 on the scales today. Your 3-day total of 36 pounds, 10 ounces. I hope you enjoyed your Classic experience.
I did.
How about a hand for Monroe? What do you say? Who is in the on-deck circle, waiting in the wings to see if he can shake up this leaderboard? Easy E, the Oklahoma kid. I'm talking about Edwin Evers. Edwin Evers, recently married, I might add. A big cheering section at the launch this morning, cheering for E squared. And Edwin Evers is a man who knows how to catch some bass. He has struggled on this chain of lakes here in years past, but those days are over for Edwin, I'm hoping.
How you doing today, Keith?
Edwin, we need big weights today. What's the deal?
We're going to have to wait for somebody else to bring it to you, Keith. I don't have it.
Oh, man. Day 1, you were on to something. Did you have to move around every day, or were you able to work on those same fish?
I kind of really made a bad decision this morning. I went looking for a new group of fish this morning, and then that wind kicked up. About the time I wanted to go to my old group of fish, and I mean, I couldn't even fish them. The water got real muddy, and it was a pretty rough day.
4 fish. We have a 2-minute penalty. That will take some weight away from you, 2 pounds as a matter of fact. You end up 3 pounds and 12 ounces on the scales. Late penalty, what happened?
I was pushing it. I just broke one off and just caught one, and I was around, you know, where I had lost some really big fish the day before, and I just knew I needed one 10, 11-pound bite, and I'd be right there in it. And I just fished up till I couldn't fish no longer, and you know, that was a long, windy run trying to come back.
We're taking a look at you on the water right now. Check it out. Take us through what's going on.
This was this morning. This is that bad decision I made. I went to Tiger Lake this morning. I was hoping to get over there and find some big fish. I really hadn't practiced much in there, but you know, I just thought it was an area that hadn't got a lot of pressure to it yet.
No doubt.
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't pay off for you. 38 pounds and 15 ounces has you in the top 5 right now. We got 23 anglers to go, though. It's been a pretty good classic for you. Probably your best finish here on Toho.
Oh, without a doubt, it's my best finish ever on Toho, you know, but this is a winner-take-all event, and yeah, I'm really disappointed, but again, I'm really happy to be here and do well here on Toho for the first time.
We'll be watching for you this season, Elite Series angler Edwin Evers, and we send it right back up top to Jay.
Still to come, he's one of the more colorful characters on the tour, Skeet Reese. He's won a ton of money, but never a classic. He'll put his day 3 catch on the scales when we come right back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the Citgo Bassmaster Classic is brought to you by Citgo and in part by Mercury Marine, Berkeley, and Toyota.
You're looking at Trip Weldon. He is the Citgo Bassmaster Classic Tournament Director. Now, Trip is not necessarily a larger fella, 5'6", 140 pounds. If you've been watching throughout the weigh-ins, you've noticed that he's the guy doing all the heavy lifting. 492 fish have been caught through the first 2 days. All of them have been lifted by Trip Weldon. And we did the math, guys. Now, how about this? Counting the weigh basket, Trip Weldon has lifted 4,064 pounds over the first 2 days. Guys, that's more than 2 tons of lifting, and we still have day 3 to go.
He's getting his work out. If he keeps this up, he's going to look like Arnold. Arnold, right here.
You almost got me. I was going to go with Popeye because he's got those little arms. He's going to walk around. He's going to be the bad man on the first tournament we're going to. With
He's
those
tough.
Arms of his.
And he's still got a day to go.
Yes,
still got a day
they
to go.
are working him out, Trip Weldon. Now, 2 times, George Cochran has won the Bassmaster Classic. He is next up on the scales, and we go downstairs to Keith Allen for that.
Let's get him in here, ladies and gentlemen, out of Arkansas. Gentlemen, George Cochran. George Cochran with 2 classic titles under his belt, hoping for a 3rd out here. Can gentleman George Cochran do what few others have ever done before? No one has won 3 classics except Rick Clunn, who owns 4 titles. George Cochran with an opportunity to get another line in the record books here today. I'm hoping, George.
Hey, Keith.
How was it today, George?
Well, it started out real good. I caught one good one early, and I thought all I need is 4 more big ones. But that big storm came through, and then I caught a bunch of little ones.
George does have a limit of 5 fish. He's 12 pounds and 10 ounces out of the lead. 12-10 will get George Cochran on top of this leaderboard. Oh, man. There's a good fish right there. Let's see what's going to happen here. 12-10 to take the lead. 11 pounds and 14 ounces. Cochran moves to 2nd place. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? A hand for George Cochran. And let's take a look at George's day on the water. Take us through it, George. Looks like you're in calm water right there. The wind was blowing 30-some-odd miles an hour this afternoon. That can't be where you're at.
That's it. No, this is the good one I caught. I was fishing the Strike King frog over the grass, and I was hoping I could do it all day before that weather got bad. But I caught this one good one real early. That really fired me up. I thought, boy, if I could just catch 3 or 4 more like that, I'll have a chance to win. And then came the big storm, about 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it trashed that whole area where I was catching those good ones.
Well, Trip tells me he got a call from our Thorgard Weather Service just before that happened, about 20 minutes earlier, and they were dead on. You can hear that wind howling right there, and it's chopping up the water.
Yes.
You know that had to make things tough on the guys who are looking for the sight bite today.
Better. Now I can call.
Well, it'd be tough sight fishing in 60-mile-an-hour winds.
No doubt about it. Well, George Cochran sits in second place. We thank you, George.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Our Pure Later Big Bass fan, George Cochran, with 5-pound 3-ouncer, our new Pure Later Big Bass. And look who's rolling in. It's Dean Rojas, the man who holds the records from 2001. Rojas with 45.2 on the scales back in 2001, a record that seems like it will still stand. But you know he loves coming back to this fishery every chance he gets. He dreams of an opportunity to do the same thing again. Rojas reaching in for one with a good bucket right there. Tell us about it, Dean. Looks like you had a pretty decent day today.
I had a great day today. Man, after that storm hit about 9 o'clock this morning, all heck broke loose. It's just, I stayed in the canal all day today, Keith, and just, these are all sight fish I caught today, and I had that one big one move up and kind of sacrificed the day. It was good.
You've got 5 fish. You have a 1 fish care penalty to the tune of 4 ounces. That brings your weight down to 11 pounds, 11 ounces. A 3-day total of 38 pounds even has you in the top 10. 7th place right now here on Classic number 36.
All right. You know, I want to thank all the fans out here at Lake Toho. The amount of money, I could not imagine how the feeling is to have all the people with all the well wishes to try and go ahead and catch 46 pounds. And I want to thank every single one of you. I did my best this week. Came up a little short, but I want to thank every single one of you. God bless.
Thanks, Dean. Thank you so much. And right back up top to Jay.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Guys, I want to go back and talk about George Cochran's day 3. Here's a guy that had a very consistent tournament. Day 1, 15 pounds. Day 2, 16 pounds. Almost 12 today. Let's take a little look at some videotape of George. Tell us what he did today, guys.
Well, you know, at the beginning of the day, we had that cloudy overcast, and that front was coming through, that storm line was coming through. And when that storm line comes through, these fish get excited, and they really get pumped up. And so he's able to fish fast, and he's using what we call a toad. He's toad fishing right there, and that's because he can go quicker.
Right there is the key bait.
Ooh. Woo! That's that little frog.
Okay. Look at that. Look at that color on that. Red, purple, green. That fish liked it, didn't he?
Now, moments ago, we heard him say that was the difference. He actually said he caught this on this bait early, and after that, it started to disintegrate. George mentioned moments after that, it started getting worse, and the bite shut down, the wind came up, and that place was decimated, wiped out. He had to leave there, but that's the bait that caught it. Oh, Shaw's in love with the little froggy.
I like the toad. It's a good one, too. That has been a major deal. We kind of put that into the worm fishing category, but when the clouds came in, they were able to speed up. Florida traditionally, very, very slow fishing for Florida to catch them. You want to slow down. This is an exception when you get the fronts coming through.
Those fronts actually make those fish speed up, and it gets a reaction by which is just a lot more bites quickly.
All right, we're still waiting for that big bag of fish on day 3. About a quarter of the field have already weighed in. Luke Clausen still holding.
Lead, and he hadn't even weighed in yet. Now, that's pretty incredible. George moved up. Terry Scroggins has moved in there.
A lot more to go, though, from the 36th annual Bassmaster Classic.
We're like the rebels in bass fishing. There's about 6 of us that just kill them old timers, man. Just total rebels. Yeah. 24-inch wheels, loud music, funky hair. But when it comes right down to tournament day, we ready to rally to their level of performance.
Looking for a good time. Could it get any closer than in your face than that?
I mean, some wild and crazy guys. My first classic was in 1984. I think Jack Chancellor was the winner that year. And yeah, the pants are longer. The hairstyles, well, this generation runs the gamut from shaved heads to long hair to not exactly like Skeet Reese has, but in that vicinity anyway. But you know what? This group of guys is going to find out. We all were rebels at a time. And in about 10 years from now, I'd love to be a mouse and a quarter and see how much the rebels bug them then. You know, the other thing that has changed so much is how about the money they can win. Back the first Classic that I saw was not nearly like this. Take a look. First prize, $500,000. And if you're a guy that have got your sponsors in place, that means that you can win way over $1 million. And let's go up to the stage. And more weigh-ins. Here's Keith.
And let's meet our next angler, ladies and gentlemen, out of California. Yes, almost recently featured in an ESPN mobile commercial during the Super Bowl. California's Ski Reese.
Hey.
Howdy.
You look good without your glasses, you know that?
Talk to me, dude. How was it?
Well, I'd love to go back here, but
nothing. Zero.
You know, I really didn't want Gerald to do this all alone. You know, the dead man walks bad enough, but we'll do it together. Hey, can I weigh this? What's that weigh, about 40 pounds? Oh, man, this is tough coming up here on a Classic stage without any fish. But you know what? I got onto something yesterday afternoon I really thought was going to pan out, and I went out today thinking I really got a legitimate shot to go out and catch a big stringer and put myself in contention to win this. I went out, I gave it everything I had. It didn't come together. Not much I can do. So I didn't come to the Classic to finish second or 25th or 24th. I think I beat Gerald, but I got about 24th. I came to win this thing, and so I have no regrets for what I did today. I did the best I can do, and I'll be back for another one of these, and I'm going to win one of these sooner or later and take it home to the West Coast.
Your time is going to come. 30 pounds and 6 ounces on the scales for the week. We're going to send it right back to Ron Franklin.
So let's take a look at the standings on this day number 3, the final day. Luke Clausen on top. Remember this, he has not weighed in as yet. All the gentlemen with an asterisk by their name, they are yet to come. George Cochran with a huge leap today. Page number 2, Tommy Biffle sitting there at 36 pounds and 12 ounces. Kevin Werth yet to weigh in. Rick Clunn, 33 pounds even for the 4-time champion. Kevin VanDam yet to come. And let's take a look at a young guy from Palatka, Florida, who has had a simply outstanding tournament, hanging a really nice fish right here on the grass line. Don't horse him, you gotta be careful.
Ah, damn it.
Preston Clark loses a fish.
Hi, I'm Mike Iaconelli.
Hi, I'm Chad Morgan-Taylor.
Hi, I'm Ish Monroe, and these are the rules of the game.
The world's best anglers compete in the 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. 3 days of competition.
3 days of cracking the whip on Lake Kissimmee,
Lake Toho,
Lake Hatchinaha,
Lake Cypress. It's a catch and release tournament.
You're allowed to keep 5 bass a day.
Day 2 is elimination day.
The top 25 qualify to fish the 3rd and final round.
The angler with the heaviest weight
will be your 2006 Citgo Bassmasters Classic World Champion. And with a terrific trophy comes a check for $500,000. The remaining 50 anglers will split $700,000. The 26 guys that did not fish today, the guys that didn't make the cut, will still cash a check of $10,000. You don't see it there on the Toyota rules of the game, but no nets allowed. You have to bring the bass into the boat all on your own. Byron and Shaw know plenty about bass fishing. At the top of the program, we discussed different techniques that the guys use. Among them, sight fishing. Popular here in Florida, but not so much today with the bad weather we had.
With bad weather, what happens is you got a lot of clouds, a lot of overcast, and you can't see the beds. It's a great technique, and a lot of guys today, they're going to be just casting out in the blue, hoping to find them.
But at the same time, there's some advanced techniques, too. I mean, there are ways to do this where you're going to go out and you're looking for fish. You're actually moving the boat around. Preston Clark, this is great. Advanced sight fishing 101 right here. Notice the trolling motor is not down. He is using a pole vaulting pole, and that's great. He's looking around without muddying up the water, making a lot of noise. And this is what he's looking for.
Let's go to the Citgo Bass Eye View. Here's a bed with a fish on it. You make a cast, a presentation with the plastic worm or a lizard or a craw. Work it real slow in there, and the bass comes along and inhales it. Now, on a day like today, you just got to wing it out there. But most days, you can see them.
When it gets like this and it's windy and it's overcast, that water turns into a mirror. You're looking in, and all you see is your reflection back because it's overcast, the breeze, the ripple, the rain. That's when sight fishing becomes very difficult.
Very difficult.
All right, the weigh-in show here at Day number 3 continues. Let's take a look at the standings, where we stand right now. Now remember, the top 6, the Super 6, will wrap up the show. So a lot of that top standings graphic can change as we move along. Among the guys in the top 6, well, not only one of the top anglers in the world, he used to be among the best jockeys. Former Kentucky Derby jockey Kevin Werth is among the Super 6. And didn't catch many big ones today, but we'll see his total catch in just a little bit.
Get in there, little fella.
One of the great things about the Bassmaster Classic, just next to us where we're weighing fish in, this is the Expo Center. So much to do, interactive for the fans and for the young folks to come around. And look, Marty Stone didn't make the cut, but still came over today to shake some hands and sign some autographs.
ESPN, I gotta watch it.
Guys, let's talk about the playing field here. There are 4 lakes in play, over 107 square miles. Basically, think of Manhattan times 4.
Unbelievable. Huge, huge playing field, and that makes it tough. Makes it real tough because you got so much room to go play.
Yeah, and this is the great thing about that. There's so many good places to go high. There's a lot of big fish in this place, and there really isn't, I mean, there isn't a bad place to fish. It's Florida,
it's great.
And Florida has a lot of big fish. I mean, they're in the little ponds alongside the freeways and the highways. I mean, if there's water in Florida, there's fish.
Along with the 4 lakes, also 30 miles of the Kissimmee River. Guys, if you were fishing in this tournament, where would you run?
I'd be down in Kissimmee.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
now with what you know, hey, hindsight's 2020. Hold on.
We're up here getting all the info. But Rick Morris is down here, and we haven't seen him at all in this whole tournament. And you know where he's been? Way, way down.
He's not on the map.
He went through. Let's watch this. He takes off at the top of Lake Toho, all the way through, goes through one lock, through the Cypress, into Hashtag, into Kissimmee, and then he blows all the way through the bottom of Kissimmee, goes through another lock, down in the old Kissimmee River, and he's fishing canals.
How many fish did he pass, Shaw? That's what I want to know. I mean, how many fish did he go by to get there?
But look what he's done. Very, very consistent fisherman, 18 pounds a day.
And not a boat in sight, too. Never saw any pressure either. You're right, 18 pounds every day, and the fact the pressure's gone.
All right, let's run downstairs to the scales and Keith Allen.
Sitco Bassmaster Angler of the Year from Leeds, Alabama. Put it together for Aaron Martens. Aaron Martens is just a phenomenal all-around angler. An amazing finesse fisherman, an amazing sight fisherman, a phenomenal flipper, you name it, he knows how to do it. Loves to play with a spinnerbait as well. Let's see if Aaron Martens had a good day today.
No.
Not as good as it needs to be.
No, I needed 2 sacks today to win this thing.
Anything but second will be good though, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be good to get out of that second place finish, I guess. It's well, right now it'd actually be pretty nice, but you know, Florida is always it's the toughest, like I said, it's the toughest place I come to for me fishing wise, and I need to spend about a month or 2 down here one year and just learn it. I just, you know, I had nowhere to go. I kind of went out pre-fishing today and did all I could with that wind. The wind was really howling. You guys saw that.
17-15 out of the lead. He puts 8 pounds and 6 ounces on the scales today. A 3-day total of 34 pounds and 13 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not in second place.
Yeah.
You sit inside the top 15 right now. At least you shook that hex.
Yeah.
As you rethink the week, would you have done anything differently?
Oh yeah, I pre-fished pretty deep. I pre-fished 3 to 5 feet. You know, I was pre-fishing bedding areas, and I relied on kind of good sun, low wind, you know, no clouds. And that weather just was totally wrong for what I did. I was trying to focus on beds that maybe guys were missing further out, 100 feet further out. And I started looking up shallow the last day of practice, and I found a lot of shallow ones, but a lot of them are finishing up. And I just really scrambled. I think I was in the wrong lake, to tell you the truth. I think Kissimmee and some of the other lakes were the place to be this tournament. And that's the way it sounds. And my equipment ran perfect, you know, the Lawrence, Mercury, Triton, it was all awesome. It was all there. The boat was there, the equipment was there. Just didn't quite get it together.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, and we're looking forward to you on the Elite Series. We're right back up top to Jay.
All right, Keith, the good news, 3-time runner-up Aaron Martens is not in second place. The bad news is he's in 14th place. We told you about Rick Morris's unique strategy. We'll come back and find out if it worked today.
Really? This past week, the outdoors, and particularly fishing, lost a very good friend in Curt Gowdy, passing at the age of 86. Curt, well, many sporting events he was at the microphone of, but also with the American Sportsman and the number of Emmys that he captured there. In fact, a total of 6 from 1964 to 1984. He covered 16 World Series, 12 Rose Bowls, 7 Olympics, and 8 Super Bowls. And on the day of his passing, I happened to be in Lubbock, Texas to do a basketball game with the Red Raiders. Head coach Bobby Knight called me and said, "You need to know about the passing of Curt Gowdy." In fact, Mrs. Gowdy had called him to tell him that Curt had passed away at the age of 86. And the statement by Coach Knight was, he said, everybody's going to say that broadcasting in the outdoors lost a great friend. He said, also remind people that Curt Gowdy also played basketball at the University of Wyoming. He said the outdoors and basketball lost a very good friend in Curt Gowdy.
Let's take a look at some of the top storylines of this 2006 Bassmaster Classic. Guys, the hometown guys have done well.
Our Florida boys are still in the game, and it could be the first time that we had a local win the tournament.
Hey, what about a little bit of West Coast winner? Luke Lawson, could be, yes, he's the youngest guy ever in the Classic. He might be the guy to actually win the Classic.
And I tell you what, he's awesome. He'll come back. He's a great angler.
Oh, and look at the size of the big fish. 11 pounds, 10 ounces. Preston Clark has set a record. Who's going to break that?
Well, not only did the big bass record fall once, 5 fish were caught bigger than the 8-pound, 9-ounce record setter from 30 years ago. Also breaking records. 5 big bags bigger than the single one-day catch record at the Classic.
And Davy Hite's got something to worry about. That winning weight could be in jeopardy right now. If Davy Hite's record gets beat, it's going to get beat here, beat now at this house.
Let's meet Davy Hite.
Champion Davy Hite. Oh yeah, waving that American flag, proud baby. Davy Hite still holds the 3-day 15-fish limit record of 55 pounds and 10 ounces. Davy, you're smiling, brother. How was your day?
Got 5 here for you, Keith.
He's got 5, but I don't see you straining. I don't see you straining to lift that bag.
No, I couldn't get the big ones today.
28.5 on the scale so far this week. You're 16 pounds and an ounce out of the lead. We'll see what your 5 fish will do for your future, and then we're going to talk about it.
Okay, they're lively.
No big ones. Yeah, they're lively. That Triton live well pumping real well out here. Let's see what we've got for Davy Hite with a 5-fish limit. Where will it put him on the leaderboard? 8 pounds and an ounce. Moves Davy Hite up to a top 15.
Keith, this is my 12th Classic, and I won 1. I finished second in 1. I finished close to last in 1. But the one thing that's consistent about all 12, when I ride in the Coliseum, the greatest fans on earth give you a big round of applause. Thank you.
And now the stage is set. The heavy hitters are ready to take their catches and put them on the scale. Our Super 6, who will win the $500,000 first prize at the 2006 Bassmaster Classic? Come right back and find out.
And welcome back to the Convention Center. You hear the chant going on. They're chanting KVD. Of course, they're talking about the defending Bassmaster Classic champion, Kevin VanDam. Last year in Pittsburgh, he won his 2nd Classic title. And of course, he comes into this event having captured back-to-back majors, which ties the top mark ever as far as this Pro Tour is concerned. Haven't heard from him yet. He got hot early out in the morning. Yesterday, after he made the cut, though, he sat and visited with us, and he thought then he could find fish today. Let's take a look.
It's either, hero or zero. There's only one way, my way. It's all about the attitude, and I've got the right attitude. Failure isn't going to bother me. I know I've got to take a big risk, take big chances to catch a big strainer, In my own mind, I know how I have to fish to have a shot at winning this, and that's what I'm going to do all day. I'm not fishing for a limit. I'm fishing for gorillas.
So let's go up to Keith and the introduction of KDD.
What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? On day 1, he ends up in 25th place. Day 2, he moves up to 12th. He's got 15 pounds and 5 ounces to make up today. Watch out for defending Classic champion, Kevin VanDam. Consecutive major wins, back-to-back Elite 50 titles, the 2005 Classic, and now Kevin VanDam has a chance to write another page in the history books to be the only man to win 4 consecutive majors, including a possible back-to-back Classic title here. Oh my goodness, Kevin VanDam already a 2-time Classic champion since 15 pounds and 5 ounces out of the lead.
What do I need?
You need 15.5.
Uh-oh.
Think heavy. 15.5 to take the lead. 15 pounds, 7 ounces, and Kevin VanDam moves to the top of the food chain. Woo! Kevin, let's take a look at you yesterday on the water. Now, this is yesterday. You made up a whole bunch of ground yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday I struggled to get a big bite. I finally caught that one real good one, and today it was kind of wild because I had a cameraman with me all morning long, and I just wasn't doing anything at all. And the first place I went, Scroggins was there, and I just immediately left because he had a huge stringer yesterday, and he had a shot to win. So I totally left my area and went to another area, and the cameraman left me, and I just commenced to whacking him right away. So the wind was blowing hard today, so I just picked up a spinnerbait and went down the bank, and I caught a bunch of fish in a hurry. I had a great time. I just couldn't get that really giant bite, but I did get the lead.
You've got 44 pounds and 8 ounces. Do you think you have enough?
Well, there's some awful good fishermen, in the Super 6 coming, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Several have slipped so far. Let's see what happens. Congratulations, Kevin VanDam, right back up to Jay.
All right, so the defending champ, at least for now, sits top of the standings. But, guys, realistically, what are his chances that holds up?
It's probably pretty bleak because we got the 6 best coming.
But what a comeback. This is Kevin VanDam. The V stands for vicious. Vicious VanDam, because this guy's an animal out there.
He's catching them every minute to 2 minutes. If we watch the bass track, he's throwing the spinnerbait, and he's ripping them. Bam,
45 minutes,
bam.
8 fish in 45 minutes.
Let's take a look at his map. It's interesting. When the guys started really struggling, he started hitting on them.
Yeah,
Take us through his day.
He goes all the way down, runs through Toho again, through the lock, breaks it out into Cypress. He's going to where he fished yesterday. He hooks it into the corner of Cypress, and watch what happens. 10-17, he catches no fish at that point. 10-18, wham, he starts to pummel him right here.
And this is the great part about what he does. He is known, just like you said, Shaw, for pummeling them. And look at the succession.
4, 5, 6. You know what happens? He catches almost 20 bass today. He's just whacking them every few minutes up and down this stretch. The storm came in, the wind's blowing, the spinnerbait bite picked up, and he clobbered them.
And that's the thing about Kevin VanDam. They say when he fishes, there's actually there's prop turbulence in the back of the boat.
Foam on the water.
Rippling. He's just going, and the boat's rippling in the back, and he's cast. He's so fast. He's the most efficient fast caster anybody we know.
All right, now let's talk about Luke Clausen. He was the leader until Kevin put his bag on the scales.
Yeah.
We've talked about the fact that a West Coast guy has never won this Classic. Who is he? What can you tell us about him?
Stunning. I've known Luke for a long time. I've seen him actually fish against me out west. He started out west fishing small tournaments against me, and we saw this guy always making checks, always doing well. The guy has shown that he's versatile. He's really good at doing well in tough time conditions.
Let's look at his sweet spot. Let's look at his honey hole down here. Now watch, every day he's running to the same spot where he's catching them. All the way through Toho, through the lock, through Cypress, Hatchinall, and into Kissimmee. Then he blows all the way down to the east side in the south corner. And look what happens. His first day, he caught 5 in just minutes. His second day, he caught them again in just minutes. And the third day, he's down there whacking on them.
All right, so once
Pretty
again,
impressive. Here's day 1. By 9:13, he catches 26 pounds on day 1. Is that not incredible?
Oh, and that's the thing. He's actually, I mean, he must have left those fish alone and just left for the day 2. Now he comes back, day 2, first fish, third cast was a 6-pounder. What a great way to start day 2 of the Bassmaster Classic.
And let's see if...
Well, what did day 3 bring for Luke Clausen?
Oh,
here they are.
Super
the
6.
Super 6. They're all standing by, waiting to put their fish on the scale. We'll find out who wins the Classic when you come right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic. Well, it's time now to weigh in the top 6 leaders after day number 2. Right now, let's meet what we called the Super 6.
With 35 pounds, 9 ounces, from Prestwood, Kentucky, Kevin Werth. With 37 pounds, 5 ounces, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Rick Morris. With 39 pounds, 3 ounces, from Palatka, Florida, Preston. With 39 pounds, 4 ounces, from Palatka, Florida, Terry Scroggins. With 39 pounds, 15 ounces, from Bismarck, Arkansas, Ron Sheffield. With 44 pounds, 5 ounces, from Spokane, Washington, Luke Clausen. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic Super 6.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the Citgo Bassmaster Classic is brought to you by Citgo, and in part by Lowrance Electronics and Purolator. Welcome back to the 2006 Bassmaster Classic. It is time now to find out who this year's winner is. Let's go to the stage. Here's Keith Allen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to load the hot seat. Who is our #1 qualifier right now? Who is in first place? Well, let's take a look at that leaderboard. Oh, look, it's defending Classic champion Kevin VanDam. KVD. I'm kind of getting used to meeting like this. Dude, you have a rare opportunity. Roland Martin had 3 majors in a row that he won. He won 3 big tournaments in a row a long time ago. Nobody has ever won 4 in a row. How much does that weigh on your mind?
Well, I worked real hard at this event here, and you know, I started off pretty slow the first day, and I just tried to fight through it to get myself in position here in the last day, but I'm not real comfortable with my lead right now, to be honest with you.
Well, you better believe that these 6 gentlemen aren't real comfortable that that's the guy sitting on the hot seat. Tripper, are you ready to go to work? Well, let's get down to business. Let's meet our number 6 qualifier out of Paducah, Kentucky. Crestwood, Kentucky, I might add. Former Kentucky Derby jockey Kevin Werth, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin, how was that day today?
Well, it was a fun day out there today. You know, we went through some adverse conditions, and, you know, I swung for the fences today, and, you know, I'm glad to come out with what I got.
Go get him. Get him out of that Triton live well, and let's get him on the scales and see if we can shake up this leaderboard. Kevin VanDam sits on top with 6 anglers left to weigh their catches. Kevin Werth, who has become quite an accomplished angler on these Florida lakes, has a limit of 5 bass. He is 9 pounds out of the lead. He sits in 16th place with 35 pounds and 9 ounces. You're looking for 9 pounds to move into first place. He has a limit, but I see no giants. Oh man, my heart is pounding because this is going to be a dramatic afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 5 fish, looking for 9 even, 6 pounds, 7 ounces, and Kevin Werth comes up short with 42 pounds even. You sit in 4th place, a very respectable finish. Let's take a look at you on the water today. All right, Kevin, take us through it. A long run or a short one early this morning?
We made probably about a 50-minute run this morning, you know, and I probably made, I don't know, 30 or 35 moves today and adjusted. It took me to 11:30 to catch my first fish there, and my second would come maybe 2 minutes later. So, and then, you know, I just kept working hard, and I made probably 3 or 4 more moves after that, and the wind got up, about blew me out of the boat today.
Yeah, you're kind of skinny and light. Those gusty winds aren't too kind to you.
No, they're pretty hard on me. You know, as you can see, I got to have a lot of clothes on all the time. You know, if it gets below 70, I'm in trouble.
We had to tie an anchor around his leg to keep him in the boat. How about a hand for Kevin Werth? Looking forward to you on the upcoming Elite Series. And now we move on to the number 5 qualifier, Mr. Rick Morris. Top 5s. Let's think about top 5s. How did he get here? A top 5 finish in the Open Championships back in Prattville on a river system. Reach into that Triton live well, and let's see how your day went today, Rick. And for some reason or another, a hush fell over the room. How about a hand for Rick Morris, who opens live well number 2. It got better. Rick, if memory serves me correctly, back in Prattville at the Open Championships, you capitalized on doing something all your own. You were doing something completely different than every other angler out there, and that's how you got that top 5 spot. How about today?
That's correct. I got a good limit today. I wish it was a little more, but let's see what we got.
7 pounds and 4 ounces out of the lead. 7-4 will take the lead. Rick Morris sits in 12th place right now, looking for 7-4 or more. 13 pounds, 11 ounces, and Rick Morris moves to the top of the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we will say goodbye to defending champion Kevin VanDam, who has been a phenomenal champion. It was a short run for you, dude, but looking forward to the series.
Yeah, it was a great event here. I want to thank all my family and friends that came down to cheer me on, and all the fans. It's been a great week. You guys rock. Thanks.
All right, and let's see about Rick Morris's day. His big bass, will it be enough to bump out Rojas? No, that one will go 3:13. Now we're going to look and listen to you on the water today.
We got 5 hours. That's 1 big bite an hour. And we're going to have plenty of wind today. They're calling for what? 20 to 30. But it's still a west wind now. They should bite.
All right. Looks like you're in calm water right here. Is this protected or is this before the wind kicked
beginning.
Both.
And how did the wind affect your bite today?
The wind helps quite a bit, but the northeast winds, when it blows that hard, it's not too good. But I will tell you this, I had a real solid plan. I was running further than anybody else was running. I was running, a good over an hour in my Triton and my Mercury out there in those big waves, and I just pounded through them all the way there with my camera guy. Look at it. That was easy. But, so I had a solid plan. I needed wind every day. I got wind every day. I was throwing a chatterbait and a War Eagle spinnerbait. I power fished all week long. I was in an area all by myself. I had these certain stretches marked that I knew that the fish were holding on, and I used my Lowrance for that. I had a lot of different marks up and down through there on my Lowrance LMS 25. So my equipment did well for me. I caught up quite a few fish. I had one other big one today come up on the bait, and he just kind of slammed it sideways, and I hope that one doesn't make me not win the Classic, but it was a great Classic. Great to be in Florida, and I'm excited.
Well, let's take a listen to you in an interview last night on ESPN. Why don't you all check this out? Listen up.
Do I really think that I can win this event? I'd have to say I don't think so. But it is possible, because I could catch 25 pounds in there.
Yes or no? You're going to win it?
We'll just have to wait and see.
51 pounds on the scales. Put you on the hot seat, my friend. And we move on. Right on down the list. Mr. Preston Clark, the pride of Palatka, put an 11:10 on the scales on day number 1. You know he's comfortable on this lake. He's sweating it out right now. Get into that Triton live well, and let's shake up the leaderboard. Preston Clark has the biggest fish of this tournament. By the way, that will be worth a $2,000 bonus from Pure Later. In addition to the $1,000 from day number 1, be a total of $3,000 in bonus money from Pure Later. I got some other good news for you again. Oh, only one fish for you today, Preston. One bass, and it needs to be a giant like you had the other day. You're 11 pounds and 14 ounces out of the lead with a 2-day total of 39.3. You've got one good fish here. Oh my goodness, you got on a good bite. You just couldn't get enough of them. 5 pounds and an ounce puts Preston Clark into the top 4, 4th place with 44 pounds and 4 ounces. Well, here's a look at Preston yesterday having a pretty good day. This is yesterday. The wind's nice and calm. You're down looking at this low profile here. You said this is really because those fish are spooky. You're trying to stay out of their sight.
Yeah, the fish were very spooky. Most of the guys were just blowing through with their trolling motors. These fish would leave. I was pushing myself along, and this one here is going to hurt.
And here's today, looking like you're working the edge of those mats. Uh-oh, hung up. That's not what you want to see. Ah, damn it.
Just that quick, she was gone.
Damn. Just came unbuttoned.
Just came off.
Well, I do have some other good news for you. You want it?
Yes.
Well, you know we have this Bush shootout program, the Bush heavyweight program, right?
I've been thinking about that.
You know it's an optional program, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, Luke Clausen opted not to participate in that program, so your big bag on day number 1 has you in the Bush shootout, my friend. 13 boats, $100,000, and you got a shot at that one. We say goodbye to Preston Clark. It has been a phenomenal tournament for you. Rick Morris sitting over there with a nail biter. And let's move on down to the list. These guys were actually team tournament partners out of Palatka, Florida. You guys were only an ounce apart. You are 5 pounds and an ounce, I believe, out of the lead. Hook it up for Big Show Terry Scroggins, ladies and gentlemen. Big Show had a dismal day 1. Yesterday, he bounced back with over 28 pounds. Nobody knows this lake like Terry Scroggins, but just maybe Terry Scroggins didn't have the day he needed to today. Let's see if he was able to turn on a big bite. 39.4 is your 2-day total. He has a limit of 5 fish. He needs 11 pounds and 13 ounces to take the lead. 11-13 will take the lead. Oh, dude, why you got to do this to me? 11-13 moves Scroggins to the top of the leaderboard. Oh, thank heaven for 7-11. Terry Scroggins moves into 2nd place with 46 pounds and 15 ounces. All of these people were pulling for you. We're going to take a look at you on the water today and see how you dealt with what Mother Nature had to serve up. Check this out. Well, is this early on?
Yeah, that was like 10 minutes after I got there. Just as soon as I got there, I could tell the water had muddied up where I caught them yesterday. I caught them on the outside edge of a pad line yesterday, and water got muddy. I actually had to move on the inside today to catch them, and the fish just got smaller inside. All the big fish was outside, and I just couldn't get a good bite today.
Well, now that the tournament is over for you, I want you to give us up a little bit of information because you know this Channel Lakes as well as anybody, and you've had more success here than most. Tell us how you turned on that big bite yesterday. What was the key for you?
Well, the first day I didn't do very well. I just went flipping the first day, and I changed it up, and I started throwing a yum dinger in the pads the second day, and I got on the outside edge of the pad line and just got on a big group of fish. I thought I could win this thing off of it.
Didn't happen for you today, but look at you. You sit in second place with 46 pounds and 15 ounces. This kid has a phenomenal career ahead of him. Watch out for Team Toyota's Terry Scroggins on the upcoming Elite Series. Terry, thank you, dude. We'll see you soon. Have a safe trip to Texas. Rick, you talking to somebody over here? You talking to somebody over here?
I'm talking to myself.
What are you saying?
2 to go.
How you feeling about your chances now?
A lot better. We're down to just 2.
I want to show you something. You see this thing right here? It's pretty heavy. It's about 50 pounds.
I guarantee I could hold it over my head and do somersaults with it.
Let's see if he'll have the chance. Let's find our number 2 qualifier, living legend in the sport, one of the all-time money winners in BASS history out of Arkansas, Mr. Ron Sheffield. Ron coming into today 4 pounds and 6 ounces out of the lead. Let me tell you, I talked to Ron Sheffield at 6:30 this morning. He was fired up and he was confident. Very confident, as a matter of fact. How is that confidence right now, Ron?
Well, you know, it's another classic and I'm doggone glad to be here.
3 fish today, 2 shy of the limit. Those other 2 eluded you. We'll talk about that in a minute, but first we've got to see some numbers. You are 11 pounds and 2 ounces out of the lead. You sit in 9th place with 39 pounds and 15 ounces. 11-2 is what you're looking for. 7 pounds, 15 ounces, and Ron Sheffield moves into 2nd place. Bumping Scroggins down to 3rd. All right, Ron, I want you to tell me about the tournament today. Actually, the week, it really was key for everybody to adjust daily, especially with what Mother Nature's throwing at you today. Look at the rough conditions. How did you deal with it?
Well, you know, the wind really trashed the area I had the most confidence in. I really knew I could win this classic if I just could get in this particular area and was able to fish. And I got in there this morning and the storm blew in and it just trashed everything, Keith. So I had to go practicing again. And I ended up getting 13 bites today, which is the most bites I've had any day of competition, and I only landed 3 of them. George, I've had a couple, I had one 6-7 pound fish right at the side of the boat just pulled off.
Now, I got to ask you something. You said you got 13 bites. 13 bites. We have a little piece of technology on board, that Bass Track system, and I didn't see anything getting logged on there early on. Were you just trying to hold that information on us?
No, I didn't catch my first fish till 11:30. In between, before I caught my first one, I think it was my gnat strike before I actually put one in the boat. So it was a frustrating day, but like I said, I won my first BASS event in Florida. I would have loved to won this one, and Florida has got a special place. The fans here are special. I'll always have a place in my heart for the state of Florida.
47 pounds and 14 ounces. You sit in 2nd place. A hand for Ron Sheffield, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ron. We appreciate you, and we are looking forward to a bright career for you, man. We're going to miss you. We wish you the very best. How about a hand for Ron Sheffield, ladies and gentlemen? And then there was one stand. Oh, don't get up. Don't get up on my account. How are you, Luke?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, we're fine. Thanks for asking. How you guys feeling? Everybody feeling okay today? Are you friends with Rick Morris? Are you guys buddies? Are you pals? Do you hang out together?
We may not be after this is done.
Look at him. He's just sitting there. But Luke, I'm a nice guy. Come on. How you feeling about your chances now? You know, confidence is so important in this sport. And last night you're saying, oh, I don't think I can win it. How do you feel about your opportunity right now?
I feel pretty good. It's 50-50.
What do you think? Let's go back and talk to Luke Clausen. Now, Luke, 27 years old. You're fishing against guys that have been fishing BASS tournaments for longer than 27 years. I'm talking 30 years. Why don't you come with me this way? Let's take a look at your day on the water first before we get those fish. I want Rick to sweat it out a little bit longer. Let's take a look at yesterday first here on the monitor and take us through what went down.
I think that was first thing in the morning. I caught a big one. I think it was my second cast. It really started off my morning.
That's where it started right there.
Yeah, I kept catching them there in the morning. Just a lot of 2-pounders. Nothing real big. I caught a couple 3-pounders. It's gotten slower for me throughout the tournament. My area started to dwindle quite a bit.
You really got a good jump on this tournament on day number 1. Here we are, day number 3. This is today. Mother Nature served up everything she had. How did you deal with her?
Well, first of all, I lost my cameraman. He fell in the lake this morning and lost the camera.
Those are only about $80,000, thanks. He is okay, by the way. Gators didn't get him.
He was definitely more concerned about the camera than his own well-being. No, but I pulled into an area in the wind there, and I really battled with the wind this morning until it just got too muddy, and I was able to catch 4 out of there. I probably should have started there. I made a mistake by not doing that, but I think things will work out.
You think they'll work out? Well, I got to tell you something. We've been ripping the record books up today, all week long. I tore it up before we started the weigh-in today. There's one record left that has an opportunity to be broken. That is Davy Hite's record of 55 pounds, 10 ounces. He set it on the Louisiana Delta back in '99. It is the heaviest limit to win a classic in the 5-fish limit era. 15 fish total for 55.10. You have an opportunity to do that today. Let's head over to the live well and see what's in store. Luke Clausen with 44 pounds and 5 ounces on the scales. Rick, it's gut check time, brother.
I'm checking my gut right now. Here we go. This is the big time show. This is the Bassmaster Classic.
Uh-oh. He just opened 2 live wells, ladies and gentlemen. Luke Clausen at 27 years of age, poised to earn $500,000. Oh my. The ink is not dry. 44 pounds and 5 ounces on the scale so far this week. He has shifted down to 5th place. He has a limit of 5 bass. He has 1 good fish in there. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs 6 pounds and 12 ounces. 11 pounds, 13 ounces. Luke Clausen takes the title of Citgo Bassmaster Classic champion. Wow. Hook him up, hook him up. Luke Clausen taking the title here on Lake Toho. And ladies and gentlemen, Luke, today is going to be bittersweet. Can he get a Pure Leader Big Bass? It's 5.5 right now, 5.13. Pure Leader Big Bass of the day. There's another $1,000 bonus and a very happy Pure Leader Big Bass fan. Luke, I want you to look at the number on the far left side. Davy Hite's record was 55 pounds and 10 ounces. Today's total weight, 56 pounds, 2 ounces. Luke Clausen has written a new page in the record books. What is going through your mind, young man?
Oh, man, it's just been an incredible week. The first day started off way better than I expected, and it keeps going a little bit downhill, and I'm frustrated that I'm not catching them, but obviously I'm still doing well enough.
Holy cow. I cannot believe what has gone on today. We are going to say goodbye to Rick Morris, and we are going to walk you over this way, my friend. I want you to stand right here. I want you to stand right there on the gills. Back it up a step, because you know what's going to go down here. Luke, this has been a phenomenal tournament for you. We need to get our previous champion, Kevin VanDam, up here. Come on, Kevin VanDam. We will pass the trophy from one man to another, from one champion to another. Kevin VanDam, from one champion to another. Hand off that classic trophy. And we say thank you to Kevin VanDam, who has been a phenomenal champion. And ladies and gentlemen, it is go time. Let's go ahead and light it up. get not only a classic title worth $500,000, a brand new record in Bass history. Was that one even on your mind?
No, I had no idea about that, or didn't have that in mind at all. I was just trying to catch as much as I could. I really want to win this event.
Unbelievable. We are going to join you with your family and take you right over here to this beautiful Triton boat with a Merc outboard on it. Go ahead and get in it. And Luke's parents joining him on board on the Triton. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? The Clausen family loads up on the Triton TR21X. And you are looking at the 2006 Citgo Bassmaster Classic champion from Spokane Valley, Washington. The West Side is in the house. Luke Clausen.
The local angler jinx is still intact. Preston Clark and Terry Scroggins, not quite enough, but for the first time ever, you get to flash the West Side victory chant.
Hey, but really awesome. The youngest man in the field, and he pulls it out. That's incredible.
And it's a great story because coming from the West Side, we're all rooting for the guys that come from where we live. He showed up from Northern California, he came from Spokane, Washington, fished against us in Northern California, and now he's a classic champion.
Unbelievable.
I'm telling you, this kid's life is set early as a bass fisherman.
And guys, how fitting that in a tournament filled with record breakers, the final weigh-in of this Bassmaster Classic eclipses the only record really that was still out there to be broken, and that was the total weight. He barely gets it, but now he has it.
Unbelievable. All records fell in this event. It's an amazing, amazing story this whole week.
Oh, we're thrilled just to see that. All these guys were out there just catching some giant fish. And what about the catches? Some big stringers. This was a great classic just to see the size fish that he had to catch to win.
From Mike Iaconelli in 51st to Luke Clausen, who is your 2006 Bassmaster Classic champion. Ron Franklin, you've seen a lot of them. This one's certainly a record breaker. Your thoughts?
Well, it goes without saying, at 27 years of age, congratulations to Luke. It's just an incredible situation for him. Let me say to BASS, infinite wisdom as far as moving this tournament to the middle of February, then in the heat of the summer. I really wish that they could find 3 or 4 reservoirs in the southern climates, and this tournament could be staged at this time. It would just rotate every year. I think they hit a home run, and I know with the young champion, they have hit a home run. Guys?
Well, Ron, with that, the 2006 Bassmaster Classic comes to a close, and what a dramatic finish it was. Luke Clausen, last to put his bag on the scales, and he passes Rick Morris from Virginia to win the $500,000 first prize. Well, with nearly 13 hours of programming over 3 days, a crew of over 250 people, and 25 cameras covering more than 100 square miles in the Kissimmee area, the move to February has been an overwhelming success. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Shaw Grigsby, Byron Velvet, and Ron Franklin, I'm Jay Crawford saying so long. Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next.